This Harvard president.
Yeah, I told you about this.
I've seen it before, but I wasn't really going to talk about it.
You have to.
But I guess because everybody's starting to talk about it.
It's anything where a Black person, a woman of color, has got an opportunity to be in a nice position. Even when we looked at Michelle Obama just as first lady, Kamala Harris, we're very proud to speak about that. And just like it opens the door for little black girls to go, oh my gosh, Harvard is such a, well-known, Ivy League school. When I saw this, I said, we got to talk about it.
Did they talk about it on The View?
No, it hasn't hit The View yet.
Why they haven't talking about it?
Because they were talking about, they're catching up. They're really catching up. They're catching up with the abortion law situation in Texas with the mom. And then they had Chris Christie. Fred Flintstone was on there today. Mm-hmm. He spoke very well. And he actually he wasn't for the ideal of them sitting down and all of them going for one candidate. Right, so he gave that update. All right. So that's all they talked about.
Well, according about the Harvard,
they may talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, the Harvard president. Mm-hmm. In this article from Fox News, it says Al Sharpton was blasted for calling Harvard president's resignation an attack on every Black woman.
Go away.
Ex-ESPN host Sage Steele tells Jesse Waters, who's a numbskull, that Sharpton's rhetoric makes her angry.
Makes who angry? The president?
It makes her angry about Al Sharpton turning it into a Black thing. Oh. Reverend Al Sharpton took heat from ex-ESPN's host, Sage Steele, after he claimed Harvard president Claudine Gay's resignation is an attack on every Black woman in America who has put a crack in the glass ceiling. I just wish he would go away, Steele told Jesse Waters. First of all, I don't agree that it is
you shouldn't have used the black card.
I don't think it should be a black card. I agree with that. But who are you to tell Al Sharpton to go away?
That's true. You can't tell Al Sharpton.
You need to. Yeah, I can't stand.
That's one person you can't.
And I don't like when white people try to tell Black people who should speak for them. Mm-hmm. Like, shut up. Mm-hmm. Who you telling to go away? Why don't you go away?
And it goes back to freedom of speech.
Yeah, if you don't agree with them, just say you don't agree with them.
To say go away.
But to say go away, who are you? Al Sharpton has done a lot for Black people. Yeah. So you go away. What have you done, Steele? For anybody, for women or Black or anybody, you white women. What have you done for white women?
You go away.
Now get out of here. Almost every time Al Sharpton speaks, this is her. Mm-hmm. I get, if this even a woman, is this a woman? Sage? I would think that's a woman's name.
Sound like it.
Almost every time Al Sharpton speaks, I get angry because Al Sharpton pretends that he knows what every single person of color in this country thinks, believes, how they should live, or how they should act. Oh, isn't that funny? They said the same things about Martin Luther King back in the day.
Does everyone
I guess he speaks for all Black people then, huh?
Martin, are you saying all Black people? You're the spokesperson, Martin Luther King, for all Black people?
Yeah. That's what she sounds like. The same argument that y'all had against Martin Luther King. All of a sudden, Martin Luther King is the best thing since sliced bread. Mm-hmm. But back then, he wasn't the best thing since sliced bread.
And the sad thing about it is when you have speakers like this, I mean, I haven't heard, them say anything to that point. They're speaking if you agree with them or not. They're not saying, I'm speaking for all Black people in America.
He's saying what he thinks.
And if you feel that way, then fine. A lot of people felt the way Martin Luther King felt.
And she got the nerve. Listen to this. Remember Martin Luther King, Mr. Sharpton? She continued, I think you do judge me by the content of my character, not the color of my skin. What happened with Claudine Gay? There are some character issues, which is why she was forced to step down. Okay, so I can agree with that. Mm-hmm. But they need to stop with this. You need to judge people by the character and not their skin color. Because y'all quick to say don't judge people by their skin color, but you're not quick to say other things you judge people for. Y'all judge people for being gay. Yeah. Y'all judge people for being fat.
Yeah.
Where's your fat friend?
And
Sage still?
And ugly.
Or somebody that's not attractive in your opinion. So we do judge people. Why don't you go with your ugly friend and try to get into a nice club? Since you only judge people by the character. I don't like when people do that. This is stuff that we want to be. We want to be like that. We want to not judge people by the outside, but judge them by the character of their skin. You don't do that. And I'm sick of people trying to act like they do. They don't.
Okay.
You want to expound you want to be like that.
That's where you want to be.
You want to, yeah.
But in a way, our country is, and our America is,
it's hard to do that. It's not true. You do judge people on the outside. You judge people for being poor. Yeah. You judge people for what they wear. If somebody came into your business meeting with some jeans on and a torn t-shirt, you guys would have everything in the world to say about him.
Their hairstyle.
So you're obviously not judging him by his character, are you?
It's an outer, yeah.
So that's why I don't like, I know people like to say these things and it sounds good. It sounds wonderful to say it, but it's just not true. So leave that alone. Now, if you want to go after him using the black card, just say that. Say, Al Sharpton, you don't need to use the black card on this. But anything you say after that, we don't want to listen to you, white lady. Not talk about any black leader in this country.
Thank you.
So get out of here.
You got to tread lightly.
So what happened to this Claudine Gay lady, who is was the president of Harvard
University,
first black woman to take that position. And she came under fire because there were a lot of what they were saying. The Jewish kids that go to Harvard, the students, they were being bullied and harassed and targeted on the campus. And they felt like they reached out to the school, and the school wasn't really doing anything to make it. Was almost like they was like saying, you'll be all right. They're not touching you or anything, so you'll be fine. So then when Claudine Gay, they called her in front of Congress. She had to come in front of Congress and answer for it. She pretty much just said that. Well, until they touch you or something, then there's nothing really
a threat, right?
And that's not really the way to handle that. I feel like there's stuff you can do. You can have classes and courses, and you can put up signs and put an effort. Legally, you might not be able to do anything.
Exactly. I think that was one of the things.
But you can shun people for harassing somebody.
That was one of the things that they talked about on The View when she was at Congress. Because The View did talk about this, but not now that she's done this.
Okay.
But they talked about her and the other lady of the school was before Congress. And at the View table, Sonny said, by the law is what you just said.
Right.
Because there's been campuses that had nooses from the tree and things targeted against black people. But technically, what could you do legally?
Exactly.
You can't go after a group of everybody because you don't know who specifically
But
did
you can
that.
change the tone of what you feel is acceptable on a college campus without legally doing something. It's almost like when we always do our shame from Game of Thrones. Shame. I can't take you to court, but I can shame
now,
you.
are you within your legal rights?
What do you mean?
When you, as a school a person of the school, what's the word? As a teacher or professor.
No, I wouldn't do it, but I would bring people on the campus that would shame those people.
Because they'll probably use a lawsuit against you.
Agree. If it was black, she would have done more. If it was her school was starting to turn into a tone of black people, y'all need to go back to Africa. We don't want no black people here.
Hanging nooses from the trees.
She would have been like, well, legally, I can't say nothing, but I can start bringing in some groups to come on campus and start talking about being racially divided and have more, maybe more teas or things where they come together or something where maybe have a town hall or something or maybe have the Greek organizations do something where I would put it out there more where the kids that's doing it look shameful.
Right.
And the other kids are like, we don't want that on our campus. We don't agree with that. And if you're doing that, you look stupid.
Okay.
So that's kind of what they probably feel like she should have been doing with the Jewish thing.
Okay.
So I do agree, but I also agree on the other side too, with Palestinian. If you got people that's doing the same thing to Palestinians, same thing. Shame. Shame. So you come to school and learn. We're not here to beat up on each other and stuff.
You always hear those companies that have had issues with racial tension. They always pull you out and do those, what's those?
Bonding type of things. Or even the sexual harassment.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody in the department got to go to some class where we're learning.
Exactly.
Maybe a woman doesn't want you to look at her that way.
Diversity training. Like the Starbucks situation.
Yes.
They shut the Starbucks down and they had to take all the people and learn diversity training.
Yes.
How to deal with racism.
So I probably would have done, if I was president, I would have definitely put up more posters and things about being against anti-Semitism. I probably would have showed some free movies like Schindler's List and other movies in the library or something that kids can go look at. I might even do little other things that people can go, maybe you're unaware of what happened in this country, not this country, even this country too, but around the world when anti-Semitism is left unchecked.
Yeah.
I probably would have done a little bit more so that people don't keep coming to me and saying, I feel like I'm being harassed and nobody's listening to me.
You got more than one student who has voiced this.
Right.
That's something wrong.
So when before that even happened, there was already groups who was trying to get her out of there. That's probably what Al Sharpton is talking about.
Oh.
They were already combing through like they did Obama, trying to find if he crossed the street wrong back in 1982.
Because they tried to get him when he first came in about his pastor.
Oh, you did jaywalking back in 1982.
Remember his Chicago pastor, Jeremiah Wright, I remember, who is retired now.
So that's what Al Sharpton...
They'll find some on you.
I think that's what he was going at.
Oh, okay.
Was even before this, they were already combing through her background to try to find, if they could find one little thing. And the reason, and I don't know how clear I can make this to white people, if you're listening. The reason why you see a lot of Black people playing the Black card, especially with Obama and other Black people that are in power, is because the same people who comb through their history to find stuff leave Trump unchecked.
Yeah.
See, if you was consistent,
right, Trump and everybody,
then people wouldn't say anything. They would say, you want somebody in office or someone to be a leader who don't have a mixed up background.
Right.
But you can't be talking on both sides of your mouth.
Exactly. You got to be in agreement with a lot of things that Trump is doing and other politicians that are doing are wrong.
So you're the same Republican Party that called her to sit in front of you and talk about this and about anything that's happened in her past, but you're the same ones who are leaving Trump unchecked.
Exactly.
He can do whatever he wants to do, and you leave that unchecked. That's why we have a problem.
Right.
And so that's the part I think that Al Sharpton is probably getting at. I understand what he's saying. I don't agree with what he's saying as far as this particular case. We're saying she represents what they trying to do to every Black woman. That's, I don't agree with that. But I do agree. I do see him. I understand why his antennas are up.
I think, too.
You don't comb through every president of every Ivy League school's background the way you did her.
It takes us also back to all these past history things the incidents that have happened. Remember with the O.J. Simpson? There were a lot of Blacks and a lot of people of color. They looked at that whole O.J. Simpson situation differently because they named like the Kennedys, other major popular names
that go unchecked,
who may have caused, some harm to people, violated some people,
even
and
celebrities.
You just kind of overlook it.
Yeah.
But when a person of color,
exactly,
now you're like, boom, 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 get him.
And I don't mind people if you're consistent.
If you're
If you're a person that's consistent, Like, I don't like corruption. I don't care what side of the coin it's on. I don't care what color you are. I don't like corruption. Then I would listen to you. But if you think I'm going to listen to you and you are a Trumpster and you say anybody that does anything in any office is wrong, go sit down.
Now, I did tell
I'm not listening to you.
To read more about what the news media is digging up about her.
They said that she did plagiarism.
Yeah.
Now, the plagiarism that they're talking about, in my opinion, is really stupid.
What is it?
It's almost like she listed.
Did she do what Melania did with taking
no? That's what I'm talking about.
Took,
when Melania literally
word by word
plagiarized Michelle Obama's speech.
Nobody checked her on it.
She literally took Michelle Obama's speech, put some flowers around it, sprayed it with some cologne from Europe that she's from,
and outlined it in gold,
added some accent to it, and thought nobody would know.
They won't know.
When they go low and we go higher, we know the word.
Oh, that was funny. Oh my God. Okay.
That to me is major plagiarism. Thank you for bringing that up. If she did that, if she took somebody's paper and put her name on it.
Her thesis when she was becoming a doctor.
Yes.
She lied.
Excuse me, Dr. Gay, but there's an Inga such and such from Germany who has the same paper. And you literally wrote your name on top of it.
That thesis.
You don't really need to be the president of Harvard, do you?
Sit her down. That's funny.
I got that.
Okay. What was the plagiarism?
She took, and then you correct me if I'm wrong, a link or something from she put it in something and said it was somewhere else or something like that. It was something so small.
She didn't reference something correctly and maybe said
either
it was her
reference or no, it wasn't never her words. It was referencing something. I gotta look. It was really, so small,
really petty.
It wasn't Melania
taking the
stealing a speech.
First Lady of Michelle Obama, and that's
or Trump, who has done it so many times.
I know, and that's partly probably what L. Sharpton's talking about.
So I get it.
Y'all ripping her to shreds.
But that's not the reason why they went after her. The reason why they went after her, and I'm not talking about the Trumpsters, they're morons.
Okay.
But the reason why
big reason.
She had to resign, because the school was staying behind her.
Oh.
Even with the plagiarism thing, they were like, that's so small. I'm not even gonna we're not even gonna talk about that.
The school was behind her?
There are Jewish people
that gave money towards
who have given over $200 million
to Harvard
and said, we're not giving no more money.
Oh, they stopped.
We don't like her. We feel like she didn't handle the Jewish thing right. So to me, it's fair.
Tit for tat.
It's fair for me. Mm-hmm. If you are the president of Harvard University and a lot of people that give money to that school are Jewish, and you didn't see that you needed to really step up your whole anti-Semitic thing, then you need to resign. Because that's something that makes common sense. If I'm the president of HBCU and I'm a white person and I see that there's some anti-black things that's going on campus, and I see that the majority of the people who give money are black people, of course I'm going to be like, we need to step it up, because it doesn't make, these people are not going to give no money if they feel like it have their best interest at hand.
I guess too, it always takes me back for some reason, things we do and don't do and how we address things, even when it's as ugly as people, because Kanye can make his little comments with the jealousy of the Jewish people. People have made negative comments even with Israel.
Right.
People have been negative even with the Jews that supposedly killed Jesus, and that was the plan. Things like that. And I keep thinking about what Jesus said in the Bible, and I see now why our words and how we respond. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Right.
And they probably, like you're saying, for her, she should have taken a
stronger stand,
diligent stand. Not so much because they're Jews,
right?
But because nobody should be. I'm uncomfortable being on campus. I'm uncomfortable.
But I'm even going a step above that.
But I'm just saying it goes back to the good word of God. You say, as far as what you reap, you sow. Jesus was so clear on the do's and don'ts and things that we should think about when it comes to others. Now look at the way you would do unto you. Now look at her now. Exactly. She's forced to sit down.
So I would say, even going a step above that, that's what I was saying. That's just basic, being kind, being nice to everybody. But just logical. If you see that Jewish people giving over $200-300 million,
you're really going,
and that happens, you'll be like, oh shoot, let me go. Even if you don't even care about Jews,
thank you.
You'll say, they give over $200-300 million. They're the biggest donors.
And like you're saying, it's the right thing to do.
It is the right thing.
What can you lose?
So I wouldn't play the black card on this, but I'm not sending Al Sharpton away like this white lady did, because I understand why his antennas went up.
Okay.
Because you was going through her background and everything. You don't do that with everybody else. You did it with her. And we all know why. So
just the simple fact that we brought up the Melania thing.
Thank you.
Still in Michelle Obama.
And I love how we always get in comments every time we talk about anything black or whatever. It's always white people who make comments. Y'all always playing the black card. Here's the thing. If you are a white person and you decide to comment, do understand, I don't care what you think. If you're saying I'm playing a black card, what you say means nothing to me. Now, if a black person said it, I might listen a little bit more. If a black person said, Kim, you know what? Y'all do play that black card a little bit more, too much, and blank, blank, blank. It's almost like, I'll use an example. If you are a woman, and we're talking about female issues, and some stupid man decides to make a comment in the section, every woman would go, why are you even chiming in on this?
Thank you. Unless you are a doctor.
Now, if a woman chimed in and said something, I might not agree with her, but at least she's part of the conversation. So I don't understand why white people feel like when they go in these comment sections and make comments, that we as black people even remotely care what you have to say.
It's not, for me, mine is different. Because a lot of times, like we always say on our show, and this is our opinion, opinions is like perfume. You spray it and then the odor goes away. So it's no big deal. You either agree with our opinion or you don't. So, and it's good that we can agree to disagree even on things, because there's things that we may not agree with even when it comes to the Bible.
I agree.
That we'll agree to disagree. But a lot of times we do say, think about the history of our country. We're not talking about other countries because there's issues there.
Right.
But our country has a really stint on black women. And how we're treated, how we're looked at, so a lot of times, and you made this comment before on one of our shows, when something negative is happening if a black woman is experiencing something wrong,
you don't know why.
You're like the source. Did I do something? Is it my race?
You don't know.
Is it my sex and what I am?
You don't know. You know what? And here's the thing that makes me upset about people when they don't look at it from another person's angle. We all have that in our lives. If you are a man and you come into a room and it's full of women or something, and they all kind of go, hi, how are you doing? And you go, are they uncomfortable because I'm a man? Are they uncomfortable because maybe they were talking about something that they feel like I shouldn't be here? Are they even uncomfortable, period? Am I feeling like they feel uncomfortable and nobody's feeling uncomfortable? You have the right to feel like that because you know, as a man or even a woman walking into a place with men, anybody that's a minority in any situation is always going to take that spot first.
You'll question that.
And then after that, you will start moving out and going, okay, well, maybe it's just me.
That's a natural
behavior. Natural.
Yeah.
So y'all need to stop that. If a guy don't let you in the club, is he not letting me in the club because I'm fat?
Right. Or I'm not cute.
Even though he said
I just didn't pay.
Or he just said there's no more room in the club. Is there no room because I'm fat?
You know what?
Are you trying to be funny? So any person with anything at that time that you feel uncomfortable or you feel is inferior at that time, it doesn't mean that in the world you feel inferior, but in that moment, you're going to always take that stance first. Now, most people with brains keep it in their head and figure it out. Because I don't want to just throw the card out there.
Let me feel if it's the black card should be tossed or not.
Right.
I'll hold back my black card.
Or the pretty card.
Yeah.
You can, oh, sorry, man, we don't have any more room. No more people come in. I'm going to stand to the side.
And see.
And I seen him let 10 women that I think are 10s. Now, how is it no room? I'm playing the card.
The fat card. Are you not letting me in because I'm big?
Or not good looking enough for you?
So, yeah, I see what you're saying.
But I'm going to stand back and watch for a little bit.
But you know Al Sharpton is not going to hold back.
No. That's why I felt like...
he's fighting for all causes.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah. So. But what happens is you water down.
I know.
When you play the card, Al Sharpton's the guy that's sitting at the table. He's always playing his cards.
That he is the black card.
Yeah, so
if he had to be you know how you do at your game when you are the what
the
is
dealer?
It? No, at the baseball games, you're the sports
umpire.
No, God, why am I
the commentator?
The little character that you wear.
Oh, the mascot.
Mascot. He is the black card mascot because he and Crump anything black related.
True.
There's a little black card coming to walk. Okay, what's going on? What's going on?
So then you got to treat them different.
Yes.
You're right. He's the mascot. I don't want to reduce him to calling him a mascot. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
You get tired of the mascot. Yeah. Sometimes they're annoying.
Yeah.
You're at the game. They come and mess with you. Hey, let's eat a hot dog together. All this shit. Like, get away from me, mascot.
Get you pepped up so we can win. We can be.
But then there's sometimes where you need that mascot. Where's he at?
Yes. We're losing.
I got what you're saying. And I don't want to reduce him to a mascot, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that the analogy I'm using for that.
That's a good analogy.
Okay.
He's the mascot.
Black card mascot.
And what we don't need is the team on the other side telling our mascot to sit down.
Thank you. He's representing.
That's what I meant when she said tell him to go sit down.
Oh, he said go away. She said go away.
She needs to go away. You from the University of Illinois telling the mascot from Michigan to go away.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Thank you. He needs to stay.
We tell our mascot to go away, not you.
Oh my God.
Thank you. That was a good analogy.
Okay. Usually I don't bring them up good ones, but I thought about that.
But there's sometimes where we're down by like 50 points. Go sit down, mascot. For God's sake.
We can't cheer no more.
I'm not cheering anymore.
We don't feel it.
That's him playing the black card when you don't need it.
Exactly, when you don't need it.
I don't think it's needed right here. You don't need to get us up and roaring for a score. Not on this one.
Thank you.
She didn't handle it right.
Okay.
That was a very good analogy.
Thank you.
Sometimes you do come up with something.
Because I'm not good with the analogy.
You're not just sitting here blowing your nose
and wiping my shirt off. Wow. I feel look. I feel needed. Oh, and the camera's rolling and
I be here. And what we need to do.
And it's you. I'm like, I don't want them to see what I've been eating for lunch.
No, I'm just joking. All right. Wendy says, hey, folks. Hey, Wendy. Justice Frost says, hey, everybody.
Hey, all right. Justice Frost.
So very good one. So this particular case, I agree. She did need to resign. Only because she didn't handle the situation, in my opinion, correctly with having Jewish donors.
But you made a good point. You said the school had her back.
They did until the donors came in.
Until the donors kind of stepped
and they was like,
so
you gotta
money does talk.
Wow. Money talks. And it should.
Sorry, Sister Sledge.
And it should. If I'm a Jewish person, I'm giving you over 200 million. You better put something up in my name.
Yeah.
Right. It better not be nobody talking about nobody Jewish on that campus.
Like you like me.
You better smile when I walk by.
That's true.
So he's right. They right.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
We were talking about this yesterday.